Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. All right. Our favorite colorist queen attempting to go on a rampage because somebody said that she went on the rampage because some dude that was stalking her some supposedly online years and years and years ago. All right. Okay. Let's there's something wrong with this lady. Borderline clinically wrong, right? Um Chrissy has been on the interwebs for some 8 years, right? Some 8 years or something along those lines. And in that amount of time, we know that she's not married, doesn't have any children, doesn't wish to, um, isn't loyal to black men. Okay, cool. Doesn't have a man right now that we know. Last time we heard, she was dating some white guy. She occasionally brags about her nice, uh, excuse me, her nice luxury apartment, right? So we know there's that. Um, the same luxury apartment, mind you, that she lamented being alone in a few months ago. So you're bragging about it, even if you, and she did this on this particular video, bragged about, even if there was no YouTube, she would still have her nice luxury apartment. Okay, yeah, okay. You mean the same luxury apartment that you lamented being in alone a few months ago? Okay. And how your relationship life is trash? Okay. Um, as I've said before, if we let these people talk long enough, they're eventually going to tell you what it really is, right? They're eventually going to tell you what's really irking them. Now let's go through some, and they're going to tell you the truth. You let them talk long enough, and they'll give you little tidbits of their life, and they'll tell you the truth. Okay. Now, one of the major points, and let me make sure we get all of this correct, right? So Chrissy, sticks her finger or attempts to stick her finger in the black manosphere's eye with the just pearly thing, and essentially tells black women to sit this out. This is not their fight. So black women, and this is like Chrissy's form of conservatism, right? Black women that have any type of like racial consciousness, that see things in a macro level, that understand that when somebody says something anti-black, they're not just talking about black men, even if black men are the ones who bought them in. And I'm not saying that black men did, but I'm just saying, even if black men are the ones who bought these people in, if a person takes a shot at black people, they're taking a shot at black people, not just black men or not just black women, right? Um, Even if they're saying they're directing their energy just to black men, most likely it's to all black people. We understand this, right? Now, take note of what Mr. Z just said. Let's continue. Now, Chrissy, and she continuously does this. She chastises black women for defending black men. She chastises black women for defending black men, talking positively about black men, right? So what we're seeing here is that for Chrissy, this is more than just what black men supposedly did to her, or black men, particularly in the black manosphere, supposedly did to her, right? For you to chastise random women you don't know for defending black men, or understanding race in a way that they know that if this one thing blows up, it hits everyone. It's all black people, right? So we're specifically talking about the just pearly thing. I mean, yeah, just pearly things. By the way, I already told y'all I'm not trying to get into that too much. So, but Chrissy brought it up, so fine. And she chastises her subscribers, or anyone who would listen, the black women who would listen, for defending black women. I mean, black men, as she says, right? Now, Chrissy is engaging in some lying by omission. She claims to be real. I'm a real B. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I'm not lying for money. I'm not okay, Chrissy. No one. First of all, no one believes you. Let's just get that out of the way. No one believes you. And Chrissy comes from this school. We all done been around that person that they're at work and they claiming how much they don't need the job or they could quit at any moment, right? That's what Chrissy's doing with YouTube. YouTube could disappear tomorrow, right? I should get paid for my work, by the way, but YouTube could disappear tomorrow, and I'll still be in my luxury apartment. Okay, oh, okay, by yourself, crazy cat lady, by yourself. And every once in a while, you'll lament it online for all of your subscribers to hear and pretend like they didn't hear you just do that, right? You weirdo, right? You weirdo. Now, Chrissy makes a very bold, blatant lie. She tells a very blatant lie, right? Which is there's a lot of non-black women in the black manosphere. Now, that is a lie from the pit of hell, right? Train tracks, train tracks, train tracks. That is definitely a lie from the pit of hell, right? So you're seeing things now, right? So you're seeing things now. A lot of non-black women in the black manosphere, right? And of course, Chrissy being Chrissy, she does her whole purity test, right? Where she chastises black women and she says, y'all gonna go defend these black men, and then they're gonna choose the white women and the racially ambiguous women and the light skinned women, and I'm like, what? Bro? In other words, if a woman ain't the darkest of the dark, broad nose, 4C curled hair, medium build, darkest skin tone ever, black woman, and medium build for black women is heavier, right? Let's be honest. Then they don't count. Are you okay, Chrissy? Are you okay? This no true Scotsman purity test thing you on? It's weird. And Chrissy continuously advocates, not in these exact words, but advocates for her subscribers to essentially be individualist. And you tell me how that's going to work out for black women. Wait, it's not working for black women now. Being hyper individualistic, how is that supposed to work for black women in this society? Right? Because she chastises them and says, not every time. You don't need to stand up for every racial incident. All right, black women. Now, let me get to the main course because I have a whole lot of points. But let me get to the main course because I told you, you let them talk long enough. See, you think these people just have a problem with black men. You let them talk long enough and you realize, oh no, they hate being black and they have a problem with black people. Right? They hate being black and they have a problem with black people. And Chrissy said it. Now, what did Chrissy say? The collective of black men are abusive, colorist, featurist, trash, right? Along with the rest of the black community. Now, if she said the collective of black men are all of these negative attributes, now pause right there. Continue along with the rest of the black community. Now, she just said the men. Who's the along with the rest? Who's the rest? Black women, that's you. That's you, black women. I told you, you let these people talk long enough, right? You let these people talk long enough, and they'll show you the contempt they have. It doesn't stop with black men. As evidenced by Chrissie's words, along with the rest of the black community. That's you, black women. That's all of you, black women. How dare you give a damn about black men? How dare the black community not cater to the whims of this fragile, broken little girl in a woman's body? This person who still feel resentment because whoever she wanted liked the light skinned chick. Another bitter, broken Betty rambling on the internet. Rambling on the internet, calling the pretty much the entire black community trash. Let's just call a thing a thing. Because if she said the collective of black men are trash, along with the rest of the black community, the rest is black women. Huh. Don't worry. She slipped up with this. She'll say something like this again. She will say something like this again. And she meant what she said. Right? You can hear the anger in her voice growing the longer her video went on. Right? You can hear it. And now she's calling other black women trash. Because of the collective, remember, and she said abusive. Chrissie is calling the collective of black men in America abusive. Chrissie, have you been outside of the country? Chrissie, compared to which men? Okay, the collective of black men are abusive. Compared to, okay, black men are men. Compared to what? You remember, Chrissie, you're the type of woman that likes to do the whole black men aren't on other men's level type of thing, right? Okay, cool. Black men are abusive in which way and compared to which men? Right? So first we're abusive, right? So first the collective of black men are abusive, right? Then what did she say? Colorist? Then she called the collective of black men colorist because she ain't chose. And I'm tired. Kim engaged in this also. Y'all need to stop talking like y'all not mad that y'all ain't chose. Many of you, the whole reason you're on whatever you're on against black men is because you're not chose. And the problem with the Chrissies of the world is that they're not just not chose by black men. Chrissie ain't been, air quotes, loyal to black men for at least half a decade. It's longer than that. So it's not just black men. Chrissie, you've been out here. You already told us you engage in whatever poly situation, whether it was polygynous or polygamous or whatever it is that you're on. You already told, so you just out here. So for a woman that's just out here, doing what she do, right? Where's the non-black man? Now, once again, last time we checked, she was out here dating some white dude, right? Maybe that's why you sound like a maybe. Okay, let's go through it. Black, dark-skinned, conservative woman dating a white dude. Maybe that's why. So you're about to be Vincent LeBeau's wife now, is what you're saying, right? So you're gonna be what? A neo-Nazi level divester while you're bringing white guys on to say, hey, you divestors, relax on the rhetoric, right? Something is wrong with this lady, and I'm not saying that in jest or just to be like, oh, something's wrong with her. No, something's really wrong with this lady, right? So black men are abusive, according to Chrissie. Black men are colorists, the collective of us. Once again, she's still using that type of rhetoric, collective. Okay, cool. And featurists. Oh boy. Y'all remember when they started talking the featurist talk, right? Because they did the colorism thing, and then we would throw Kelly Rowland in their face, we'll throw Lupita in their face, we'll throw Keisha from Belly in their face, right? Be like, these are dark skinned women that are staples of the black, and black men's rule over them. So now they gotta now they gotta move the goalposts to featurists, right? So now it's also their broad noses for some black women, right? They can't just leave it at colorists. Now gotta be featurists too, right? So remember, black men, the Chrissies of the world see you as abusive because you ain't choose them, right? Another thing, Chrissy keeps on talking this collective talk, and she says out of her own mouth. Let me make sure I get the quote for you guys. Give me a second. Chrissy says black men in her own life support her. She mentions her brother, her uncle, her father, whatever. Let me get this right, Chrissy. Wait a minute. The men, so the black men in your own personal life are doing their job. So you just talking. Chrissy, you're not married. So what? So in other words, what Chrissy is complaining about is that random Negroes that don't know her are not protecting her from what? What are you talking about? You crazy cat lady. The black men that are responsible for you. First of all, remember, protection is the preventative measure. So you mean if something happened to you, they'll enact vengeance for you, is what you really mean, right? But okay, fine. Your father, your brother, whatever uncle you were mentioning, these people got your back. They support you. Whatever men in your personal black men in your personal life are there for you. They support you. So you just talking is what you're saying. That other black man that would be protecting you, air quotes protecting you, Miss Chrissy, like a husband, you don't got that. So in other words, this is what once more, and black women keep on doing this all across the entire spectrum of black women. They keep on doing this. I want to be insufferable. I want to be snarky. I want to be an a-hole. But the collective of black men still need to provide and protect me. Provide and protect me. Oh yeah, and I want to be single, always open to mingle. I don't want to be under the umbrella of one man, one black man. I want to do what I want to do, how I want to do it. But the collective of black men right, still need to provide me with air quotes protection. Chrissy, you Miss Chrissy said that the black men in your circle support you. You also bring up the DDS magazine and you kind of poo-poo it like, oh yeah, I mean, black men did donate. They didn't donate more than black women. They donated a few $1,000s, a couple $1,000s. I think she said a couple or a few, whichever one. In other words, black men supported you to show that they support dark-skinned black women. It didn't have to be the majority. So when you put up the GoFundMe for your dark-skinned magazine, black men that like black women and find black women attractive, both black men that find varying shades of black women attractive, and then black men that just find darker skin tone black women attractive, donated to your fund for your magazine celebrating dark skinned black women. Once again, you're just babbling to be babbling. Huh. Right? And let's pause for the cause right here. Demetrius says, PZ, did you get my email? I don't know. Let me check my email. I'll check my email. I'll check my email after the stream. Right? Right? So this lady is just, so let me get this right. The men in your immediate circle are down for you. So the men that are responsible for being down for you are down for you. You're not in a serious relationship with a black man that we know of, and you're not married to a black man that we know of. So this imaginary black man isn't doing wrong by you because you're not in the relationship with the imaginary black man. So the men that should be responsible for you, air quotes, responsible for you, even though you're a grown ass woman, like your father and your brother and your uncle or uncles or whatever, they are doing their job. So what in the hell are you talking about? Right? Oh, Demetrius, heard you. It's the one about Stranger Fruit Pie. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I already started listening, and I already see someone that already is. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. Right? I already saw who the Uchechi replacement is. Yeah. Oh boy. All right. Yeah. Well, okay. Boy, intellectualizing their misandry. Boy, they. Anyway. Um. You know what's interesting about Chrissy is how much smarter she thinks she is than everyone else. Right? Because she said, "Well, I see the game." Okay. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. You know. Now the Wakanda thing. Now, for those of you that have heard Mr. Z, and I think there's other black men content creators that have said this, these women want black men to build Wakanda. Well, Chrissy actually does say it. So Chrissy thinks that she's queen of the universe, and her litmus test is Wakanda. Until black men build Wakanda, you niggas ain't ish. Oh, you know what? It's late night. We're using profanity, right? You niggas ain't shit until y'all build Wakanda. Huh. First of all, Chrissy, who the hell are you? You're a broken, bitter black woman. Why should anyone care about your standards? You already declared jihad against black men. So black men are supposed to prove something to a bitter, angry, hurt little girl in a woman's body? Right? Black men are supposed to prove something to you? By what, building Wakanda? You can argue because of slavery and Jim Crow and all of this stuff, and Black men kind of already did build Wakanda. It's called America. How is this supposed to go, Chrissy? Yo, weak ass. How is this supposed to go? Black men are supposed to go run up like January 6th on the Capitol building and try to what? Murk something? Kidnap something? Take over something? And when the US government, mainly white dudes, come down with the hammer on black people, where your scary ass gonna be? You're just rambling, you crazy cat lady. Bill Wakanda, these people watch too many movies, bro. One thing explode on them and they would be shell shocked for the rest of their life. One thing go off around them and they would be shell shocked for the rest of their life. But they want black men for their own egos to go get themselves slaughtered by the US government. Yo, weak ass. You couldn't survive 1 second with bombs going off and all this happening around you. And you telling black men to build Wakanda. Lady, if you don't go deep though, the closest white, you know what? What? Hey, what what gets under Mr. Z's skin is people like this thinking that what they say is what goes. This kind of megalomaniac, I'll come if black men were to build Wakanda, I'll come up and look, black men are doing their part. They're doing much better. They're doing better. And who are you? Mr. Z is a nameless, faceless person on YouTube, and I own that. Right? But this other nameless, faceless nobody on YouTube think that they can give out litmus tests for black men. If black men were to build Wakanda, this lady lives in the belly of the beast, and she act like she don't know how America work. America overthrows foreign leaders for fun. Through covert means, through economic means, strangle other countries' economies for fun. Blockade other countries for fun. Right? Encircle other countries, contain other whole nations halfway across the planet. And this lady is talking about building Wakanda in America. She wants 40 million black Americans, which America already got their thumb on and is waiting for us to pop off on some crazy stuff. Been waiting. Been waiting since the end of the Civil War. Been waiting. And she wants you to do what? Get yourself slaughtered for her ego? Just go end up with the white dude, Chrissie, and get out of here. The largest economy the world has ever known. The greatest military the world has ever known. The greatest spying apparatus the world has ever known, both domestically and foreign. Right? Some $700 billion military budget, and that's what they admit to. And that's what the US government admits to. And Chrissy lives in that country and then tells you to build Wakanda. For people like you, megalomaniac little girls, ego much? Chrissy, you somewhere around my age, maybe a little bit older. Where's the white husband? Or at least white boyfriend? Or Latino? At least Paris is married. Kim is still an a-hole, but she's smiling ear to ear. Where's your proof of concept, Miss Chrissy? Black men ain't ish, fine. Other men are better. Cool. That's great. Great, 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 great. Where's your proof of concept? Where's the other man? Where's the non-black man, Chrissy? Right? Now, Chrissy goes on to say that she holds black men accountable. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Chrissy says she holds black men accountable. Accountable for what? Accountable for what? For not catering to women like you egos? Your ego? What? For not going to for not worshiping at the altar of the darkest black woman with the broadest nose. And Mr. Z's mom is a dark skinned black woman. So this is not anti dark skinned black women. But these weirdos feel so slighted. And Chrissy already told y'all what last year. She know what she's proposing is not a solution for the black community. It's not even a solution for the collective of black women. She said it. This lady's just babbling. She admits that the men in her circle support her. Number one. Number two, she already told you she's in a poly, whatever the hell. So why the hell are y'all listening to a person that doesn't care to be with a black man, doesn't have children, doesn't want to have children, doesn't want to be... Shout out to all the women that listen to these type of people like Chrissy. And when she was saying it, she sounded like she had arrived. Like she was saying it like she had, like she was doing something special. Like she's not one of us lesser beings trying to be in nuclear families, heterosexual nuclear families. She out here doing whatever she's doing, whatever with whoever she's doing it with. Oh, I've been in poly for years. I don't know, like she above everyone else. Haha. You little people and your little monogamy. Lady, you out here doing whatever with whoever. No kids, no man, white, black, Latino, Asian, or otherwise. Trying to brag about your luxury apartment that a few months ago you were lamenting that you were in by yourself. I got all these nice, this beautiful view, and but my love life. What she said, my love life or my relationship life is trash. Then you call black men abusive, colorist, featurist trash, along with the rest of who? And you should hear how she tried to back out of that because she said along with the rest of the black community. That means the women, Miss Chrissy. Because if you said the collective of black men, along with you already, that means you said the men already. Who else is there? The children, the innocent children. What you talking about? Underage black boys, or are you talking about women, or both? You weirdo. These people think they be doing so. Chrissy, you're. Oh boy. And this is what passes for entertainment and wisdom on the other side. This is what passes for wisdom in entertainment. Calling black men abusive as a collective. So, first of all, what do you mean by collective? Do you mean majority? Do you mean that's the predominant ethos, the predominant worldview of black men is to abuse or harm black women? And then in which way? Y'all just be throwing these what, because you feel like nobody protected the sensibilities of you as a little girl who didn't like the skin tone you were in? When you say abusive, what do you mean? You crazy cat lady. I'm just calling her. I don't know if Chrissy really got a cat, but she sounds like a crazy cat lady. Just going off. Weirdo. And then you have to ask yourself, like, what movies are these people watching? What is going on where they speak like this, make these bold pronouncements like calling black men abusive as a collective? You know how bold of a pronouncement that is? I don't know how many even really vehement racists would actually say that on camera or on a recording, like straight up, black men are abusive. As a collective, black men are abusive. She's just babbling and rambling, and because she feels slighted that people are saying that she switched up for the money. Then she's, where were y'all 6 and 7 years ago when these men were they were stalking me? Y'all admitted that he was who's the he, first of all? Who was supposedly stalking Chrissy 6 and 7 years ago? I have an idea of one of the people she might be talking about, but I don't know who the other he. And he was just making video and content, and he was, where were you? And now you're admitting it now. It's too late now. And they didn't even apologize. What? What are you talking about? Okay, cool. You felt slighted. Whatever you're talking about, whatever happened 6 and 7 years ago. Then you switched up. That you burned the cape. Until then, I'm gonna burn the cape. Okay, cool. Until black men build Wakanda in America. First of all, Nixon told you back in the 70s there will not be a colony within a nation while he was actually colonizing the black community. That's a different topic for a different day. Nixon told you back in the 70s that the black community wasn't going to be a colony within a nation. So this Wakanda talk. What are you talking about? Chris Hayes put out a book a few years ago titled Colony Within a Nation, and then traced the line to show you how the black community was targeted. And now Chrissy talking about black people building Wakanda. But excuse me, sorry. Rewind. Black men building Wakanda before she could give black men respect. First of all, Chrissy, ain't nobody looking for your loser ass respect. Go end up with the white men that you swear by. These non-abusive, non-black men that you swear by. Whatever white dude or Latino dude or Asian dude you swear by. And I'm pretty sure Asian women and Latina women and white women gonna have a whole lot to talk to you about. She's just rambling. And like I said, what really got Mr. Z was her straight up saying the men in her circle support her. Well, you're not married, so that's that. You don't get no collective male protection, black male protection, while you spew this insanity on the interwebs. What are you talking about? Man, y'all need, stay at the movie theater, lady. Homegirl thinks she's so much smarter than everyone else. I have a different level of consciousness. I'm on a different level of consciousness. Wait, let me get this right. A black woman raised in this anti-black white supremacist society who speaks anti-black about black men thinks she has a different level of consciousness. The joke writes itself. You were raised in America and you speak anti-black about black people and you think you have a different level of consciousness. What different level? You speak negatively about black men in America. That's American as American pie. What are you saying new or different, revolutionary, revelatory that hasn't been said about black men yet? What new thing did you bring to the game, Chrissy? You call black men abusive? Feminists been saying that for decades. You say black men are colorists? Darker skinned black women been saying that for decades. Black men are featurists? Darker skinned, once again, black women have been saying that for decades. What new thing? What consciousness do you think you have? What do you think you're saying that's new? What awareness do you think you have? You pretty damn sleep, actually. Right? You're short-sighted as hell, actually, to tell black women in this country, in this environment, with hyperinflation, well, not hyperinflation, sorry, stagflation, for you to essentially, not her words, push them to be hyper individualistic because if they can't trust white women, okay, cool. Darker skinned black women can't trust lighter skinned black women or even brown skinned black women. Okay. They can't trust black men. Okay. So you are pushing, and then for you to call the collective of black men trash along with the black community, the rest of the black community, that means that black women shouldn't even trust other black women. So, and in that, with you saying all of that, you think you have a certain level of consciousness that other, what do you, okay, Mr. Z is rubbing on his temple right now. A black woman that herself said what she's saying is not going to be a solution for the black community or black women, the collective of black women. Okay. And this is around the time with January 6th last year and what was going on and like, okay, cool. No, not last year, the year before, whatever it was, right? That was what, 2021. Yeah. Um okay. You're not saying anything new. We established that. You're being fueled by whatever resentment and anger. Okay, we established that. You're about your money. You're a hyper capitalist. Okay, cool. You make the same type of statements that any megalomaniac person, particularly black person, particularly black women, would make, bragging about your luxury apartment. Okay, that's cool. Bragging about how you don't need YouTube. Okay, that's cool. Um, Calling black men abusive. Once again, we already established that feminists from yesteryear been saying that forever. So consciousness again? What are you talking about? Right? Consciousness. Chrissie had the unmitigated goal to speak about her level of consciousness. Chrissie, half of your subscribers probably live at home with their parents still. At least a third of them. Put money. Put money. I'm willing to put money that at least I mean that. I bet Jason Black. I bet you 1,000 right now that at least a third of your subscribers still live at home with their parents, Chrissie. And we're not talking about the teenagers. I'm talking about the adults over 18. At least a third of them, I put money, still live at home with their parents. I put money that at least a fourth of them, at least a quarter of them, over the age of 25 still live at home with their parents. I might even move that age to 30. And you talking the way you're talking about black men. You bragging about your lifestyle and how you don't need YouTube. In front of your subscribers that are struggling. I know half of your subscribers, more than half of them don't earn $50,000 a year. I know that for a fact, based off the numbers. And you're talking about black men building Wakanda, right? Black women are the most enrolled group of people in America. Enrolled in college. As a percentage of their population, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Not really true, but okay, cool. Black women are in academia more than black men are. Black women hold more middle management positions than black men do. Black women are more employed than black men are. Black women have more college degrees than black men. Black women hold more political office than black men, and yet black women are in more debt. Huh. All this Ralph Richard Banks, why black women should date or marry black non-black men type talk. We've been hearing that since at least the 70s. What do you think you're saying that's new? You brag about essentially you saying you don't need YouTube is like bragging about I don't need this job. Everybody done heard a coworker say that before. And you know they need it. You're full of it, right? Here's another point that she makes, right? What did she say? She said, "Of course, your relationships with black men are reciprocal. You pander to them." And she's speaking about the black women that are kind of part of this space or orbit around this space, the black manosphere. Wait a minute, Chrissy. So what you're saying is that black women that support black men get support back? Yo, you crazy cat lady, you just rambling for real, right? You're just so let me get this right. Instead of you saying black women that support black men in the black manosphere, they get support back. Instead of you saying that, you made it a negative. You put your spin on it and say, of course you have a reciprocal relationship because you pander to them. You mean they actually say things that black men believe? Huh. Who would have thunk that when you show someone you support them, even if you're pretending, okay, cool, you support them, that they would support you back? Maybe even sometimes financially. Who would have ever thunk that? Oh, and now we call it pandering. As if Chrissy's not pandering to her audience. Huh, right? She calls it pandering. So the woman with the high level of consciousness, she's conscious, right? On another level. And she see the game, right? The crazy cat lady, right? Rambling and babbling, telling you how her circle, the men in her circle support her, but then complaining about black men not building Wakanda at the same time. Okay. And now she's saying, not even essentially, now she's saying that the black women have a reciprocal, the black women in these type of spaces pander to black men, so black men reciprocate by supporting them. And that's a bad thing because why? Oh, you swear that black men in the black manosphere are going to turn their back on these women, and then those women will understand why you are the way you are, and they'll join forces with you, and y'all could just become a big Voltron of black men hating and black men bashing, loser, bitter women, right? Which so in other words, the Chrissies of the world are just waiting on bated breath for black men to turn on, I guess, different black women that kind of occupy some of these spaces, so that she could be like, "Oh, see, I told y'all." Like she's attempting to do with just pearly things, not even knowing what's going on. She doesn't even know what's going on. She's just rambling. These people are the worst. And like I said, I want those of us that's here, black women, y'all, whichever way, y'all remember Chrissy, right? Y'all remember Chrissy in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? You remember all of these content creators that you used to listen to when your love life and your sex life and your lack of marriage life ain't looking too good? Y'all remember y'all supported a woman like Chrissy, right? And for you to think that black men ain't shit, she literally said that. And until you build Wakanda, y'all thought I was joking when I said that's what they really build Wakanda, niggas. Build Wakanda, black men, build it for fragile little girls like Chrissy and their little egos, right? Their fragile little egos. Build Wakanda for them. The woman that tells you she's on a different level of consciousness, that woman. Bill Wakanda for women like this who told you down some whatever poly, whatever the hell she's on, polygynous, polyamory, or whatever she's on. Bill Wakanda for women like that, that told you straight up the men in their lives, the black men in their lives support them. To the point where she was telling, essentially saying, anybody run up on her, she'll get her uncles type thing. So the men in your life support you to the tune of you can get your uncle on any one of these random YouTubers that might dox you and try to run up on you. So you have support from the black men in your circle to that level, and yet the collective of black men are still trash. So you, like I said earlier, you want random black men that don't know you to protect you from who? I would tell you to put down the damn glass, put down the drink, because that's the only thing you need protection from. You crazy cat lady. Just ranting and ranting and that. I'm sorry, sorry. Chrissy's not ranting. She's not. She's rambling and babbling. She's babbling and rambling. Different level of and I think I need to say that again. A black woman born and raised in America who says anti-black misandrous things about black men, raised in this anti-black system, this white supremacist system, she thinks she's on a different level of consciousness. When she literally said, essentially, until black men build Wakanda, black men ain't ish. Black men ain't shit until black men build Wakanda. And she thinks she's on a different level of consciousness. Literally mentioning a fictional place in a movie as the standard, and she wasn't joking. She said what she meant. All right. So the lady told you a lot of non-black. So let's go through the lie. The lady told you a lot of non-black. There's a lot of non-black women in the black manosphere. Where? Start naming them. Where are all the non-black women that are part of the black manosphere? You lied. You straight up lied. That's not a little fib. That's not a little fabrication. That's not a little exaggeration. That's not embellishing anything. No, that's a straight lie. Right? No wonder you're in that apartment by yourself. Oh, sorry, that condo by yourself. Right? With your beautiful views and your loneliness. And no, I don't believe just because you're single that you're lonely. But the lady told you with some sadness in her voice some months ago that her relationship life was trash. She tell you she would whatever once again polygynous or polyamorous situation. She tell you she's dating some random white dude. When was the last time we heard of Chrissy being in a relationship? Now she could be and she's not saying it online. That's very possible. Very possible that she could be in a relationship and she doesn't talk about it on the interwebs. That's possible. But how likely is it? Particularly for Chrissy, who's been waging this war against black men for some 7 years, 6, 7 years. Dear black men, check and see who your people are subscribed to, who your ladies are subscribed to. Shout out to Victor Creed. It was one of his suggestions, and I definitely agree with him on that. Right? Right? Huh. So I definitely just want to come to you guys with this. Um, I thought it had to be covered mainly because of the it was the main two things for me were the men in your life support the black men in your life supporting you. Got to make sure I say this. The black men in your life supporting you. The black men you have support from the black men that are in charge of supporting you. Your uncle, your dad, your brother. But I guess because you don't have random black men who you don't know support, right? That's what you have an issue with, right? I definitely had to bring that to y'all. And to any black woman that's listening, remember what she said. Let's make sure we get it correct again. The collective of black men are abusive, colorist, featurist trash, along with the rest of the black community. Right? Chrissie's words: the collective of black men are abusive. She said abusive, everyone. Abusive. These little fragile, hurt. Mm. These little hurt women, these little hurt little girls just throw out words willy nilly. She said she called the collective. If this is not like one of these like whistle blowing, like white man come get this nigga type, comments, to call the collective of black men abusive. These people be so bitter, so angry, so resentful. They just be throwing out like these insane accusations, hoping white zaddy come and regulate you for them. She said abusive, colorist, featurish, and A. She said trash. Talk about dehumanizing. Chrissy, stop bringing on white dudes to tell the divestors relax. You're calling black men and black women trash. Right? You called the collective of black men trash, and you said the rest of the black community, that's black women, right? And you said trash. As I've said to y'all, y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. As I've said before, you let them talk long enough, and it won't stop at just black men. From my understanding, Chrissy's not interacting with anyone, any black man on the interwebs. None. Right? And the only black man we know that she interacts with really is what, her, once again, her brother. In real life, we don't know. We don't know. I'm not even gonna make the speculation. But at least on the interwebs, we don't know. And she calling the collective of men that she does not know colorist, featurist, and abusive. Right? And y'all give me a second. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Give Mr. Z 1 second. Right. And GC says, and this is a great comment, everyone is tired of the desirability whining from them, including non-black people. And it really is. And maybe we have to kind of delve into that a little bit more. And thank you for the comment, GC, which is, not only have they intellectualized their misandry, but like all they want to study is like the politics of desirability. Because it really is What science could we whip up that's going to put us on the same level as these white women that we think black men think are better than us? You hear what I just said? Sorry, wrong word. That we feel like black men feel are better than us. Right? That's all they talk about. Shout out to BGS is like it's just vagina talk. They talk about these same type of people talk about black men only think with their penis. Black men only think with their penis. Everything black men do, everything men do with their penis, with their penis. And yet all these people want to do is talk about desirability and who's having sex with who and who's being legitimated by who you know, because this guy is with this type of woman, that means that he doesn't find women like me attractive, and that makes me feel a certain way. Oh my God. The aesthetic of things, the way things look, why people desire other people, oh boy. And I'm actually doing the conversation of desirability injustice because they're not even getting into the weeds of it and actually really trying to turn it into a science. Really, they're just complaining that they're not the chosen ones. That's why Chrissie and her ilk got to talk about featureism because colorism wasn't enough. Like I said, we throw Kelly Rowland in their face. We throw Bria Miles in their face. We throw Keisha from Belly in their face. We throw Lupita in their face whenever they start doing that colorist talk. So now they got to switch it. And now they got to talk about featureism too. This lady Christie been on this for 6 and 7 years, and she think it's something to brag about. Like I said, the jokes write themselves. She think it's something to brag about that she been on this war against black men for 6 and 7 years. Damn. Something this this lady is so emotionally immature. She think it's a point to brag about that she's been waging jihad on black men for 6 and 7 years because supposedly some Negroes part of the black manosphere stalked her. Right? The divestors and all these other people and these swirlers and then the Chrissies who try not to claim any one of them, but she really on it, are so loud. Y'all making white people cringe. Like I said, Chrissy and all the rest of these people trying to cop please. Chrissy trying to slip every single punch, trying to cop please because their ideological children, the extreme divestors, don't even want to play coy. And Chrissy is one of the foremothers of that bull. And she got the unmitigated gall to be talk about how conscious she is. Lady, you're not conscious. You're another racist American that's racist towards and anti-black towards black men. And that's even if you end up with a black man in the future, you'll just be Kim Foster. You can't. I mean, like I said, Chrissy, good luck to you for in whatever endeavors you have. Clearly, you said, "Oh, I'll still have this luxury apartment, and I still have this, even if I didn't have YouTube." Man, I don't need this job, right? Right. GC, I even GC. I'm not even gonna read that comment out loud. Hysterical. And that gate is closing. That overt in your face talk crap about black men and try to intellectualize it. Yeah, y'all gotta have to come. And remember, y'all caused the split publicly. So when black men are around non-black people and they try to throw this in our face, we'd be like, oh yeah, no, black women ain't ours, they're yours. The Chrissies of the world are calling black men trash, right? This woman don't belong to black men. This woman don't belong to the black community. She's calling the black community trash. Until black men build Wakanda, black men ain't shit. Right? Black men are abusive, colorist, featurist trash, according to Miss Chrissy. Meanwhile, she don't got a well, I don't think she wants to be married, but either way, she don't got a ring on her finger from a non-black man yet. But black men are trash. You haven't been loyal to black men for however long, but black men are trash. Where's your non-black serious relationship or husband? I'll give you not okay, fine. You don't want to be married, you don't fine. Oh, but I forgot you're into the polygynous or polyamorous, whichever one you said. Right. So on that note, I'm going to come to a close. I just want to come to y'all with this. I don't want to belabor the point too much. Yeah, y'all just be careful for the Christies of the world. Everyone from relatives to random black women that you run into. Um, understand some of them think just like Chrissy, feel just like Chrissy about black men. Right? They resent black men because of whatever um black boy or young black man that overlooked them back in the day, or the fact that they can't keep the type of black men that they think they deserve or they feel they deserve. And it's not like their interracial relationships got any better. I would like to direct you to Ostefco. This is the same Chrissy that lied by omission with the insider article that was essentially saying, yeah, black women on these college campuses trying to holler at these non-black men and they still trying them. They see them as bust downs, just here to have some interracial fun with and to knock you off a bucket list, and then I'll continue the rest of my life and have a white girlfriend in college. This is the same. That's the same Chrissy. This is the same Chrissy that on her channel when her and BGS were going back and forth about Lawrence from the Insecure show, pretty much saying, yeah, he regular, ain't nothing special about Lawrence, whatever. And then when all of her subscribers, well, not her subscribers at the time, but more her recent subscribers find out Lawrence is with the white woman in real life, they're over here heartbroken about a celebrity man that they would never meet. But cool. They're heartbroken, and she never brings up, yeah, years ago, I did say that, he's just extra average, and whatever, he's whatever, and I know there's other black women that think like me, so ugh. He might have had a hard go at it with black women, so I kind of understand. No, 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 we don't do that over there on Chrissie's channel. The same woman that claimed to be authentic, huh? Right? Aren't you the same woman that claimed to be authentic? Right? And Second Life, don't worry, Second Life. My girlfriend is light skinned, and I already see the looks sometimes. I already see the looks sometimes. Because they think that I went out seeking that, or at least that's what they got to tell themselves. Is that I woke up in the morning, I said, you know what? Let me put on my army makeup. I'm gonna go find me a light skinned woman. Oh, seasoned life. Okay, sorry, brother. Right, right. Because that's what they have to tell themselves. Oh yeah, GC colorism. Oh, all day, every day. These are mind you, these people tell you what their standards are. They tell you don't budge on. They're not gonna budge on their standards and all this other stuff, right? Plus, they want it both ways. So they tell you what their standards are. They brag about it. They tell you how they not gonna settle, how settling's for the devil, and all this other stuff. And then they see the same type of brothers that they think are losers in 5 and 10 years with a non-black woman, with a light-skinned black woman, with whoever, and they act like you were hunting the women that you end up with, when they clearly tell you that they're not interested in you. Right? No struggle, love, notice. So let's say you fresh out of college, you only making 28, $30,000 a year. Some white woman, some young white woman, some young Asian woman, Latina, light skinned, racially ambiguous black woman take interest in you. Y'all start to build. They remember, these are the women that's telling you no struggle of on one end. They see you with that young lady. They looking at her like, look at this loser. And in 5 and 10 years, when y'all got something, now they're gonna pretend and start copping please, like she's only with you because of what you have. First of all, they don't know you. They don't know your story. But the assumption is, because remember, they got to go to sleep at night, is that you went out hunting for the Asian girl. You went out hunting for the white girl. You went out hunting for the, air quotes, racially ambiguous black woman. This is what Chrissy audience tells themselves. That they can be insufferable, mean, snarky a-holes, and yet black men are still supposed to end up with them. They can tell you about black women in luxury. They could tell you what they're not going to settle for. They could tell you how much better they are than you. They could tell you how the collective of black men are trash and abusive and colorist and featurist and what have you built and you haven't built Wakanda. They think they could tell you all of that, and you still better end up with the darkest skin, broadest nose black woman, like some type of caricature of like all the most prominent negroid features. If you don't, if this black woman just have the most prominent negroid features, and then even when we say negroid, we talking about East African, right? Are we talking about the different tribes and the ones with the more, slanted, what we would consider more Asian eyes or East Asian eyes? There's so many different types of black people, particularly on the continent and from the continent. But no, for these particular Chrissy types, they're mainly talking about like that Nigeria, West African features. And if you don't end up with a black woman with these type of features, then you're colorist, featurist, abusive, trash black man. And you represent all the other trash black men and the rest of the black community. Remember, she said that, right? And on that note, for real, let me end it out here. Love, peace, and chicken grease. We'll pause right here. You know, yeah. So the link is in the description if y'all want to watch. Um, if you can stomach it, you know. But Chrissy, another sexist black woman, another sexist anti-black man, black male, misandrist black woman who thinks her, air quotes, her level of consciousness is so much different than the rest of us. She thinks she's saying something special and new and spectacular, and or she's just telling her truth, whatever she thinks this is, whatever she thinks she's doing, right? That's for the betterment of black women, or at least even individual black women, or whatever she thinks she's doing, right? So let me truly pause right here. Um, like I said, y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. But yeah, this lady, something is wrong with this lady. I really contend for someone to say that the men in her life support her, but then rail on anyway. Yeah, I'm not just throwing that. Like, this is really some crazy cat lady thing, right? Yeah. And on that note, you know, y'all go ahead and have a great rest of y'all night. And you trash black men, you abusive black men, you. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Mr. Z out.